Maybe someone can message me or chat. Okay, yes. Thank you. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining today. And today I got this opportunity to serve all of you to um, read Bhagavad Gita from Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 14th shloka. Before that, we will start with the prayers and the chanting. So before chanting, we will start with the prayers. Maybe you all also can repeat with me and do the meditation, the mantra meditation. So we can start. And before starting the meditation, this actually maybe the day, it might be like the weekend, but still the day might be little hectic for some people, or it might be weekend vibes some. But we can start with when we are doing this meditation, we can just focus on the mantra and hear it very sincerely and attentively, so that whatever the chaos which had happened whole day, or whatever the distress or whatever we are going through, we can still remember the Supreme Lord, and we can meditate upon the holy names of the Lord uh, to end the day with the blessings. Yeah, so let us start. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna. Just a second. अरे लाइट వెలిగించరా? So we will start with the prayers. So, Hariprasad Prabhu, will you be able to recite after me, or shall I continue?
Sure, Mantaji, I'll repeat.
So that they will also be able to recite. So you all also can recite after me the Mangalacharana prayers to invoke the auspicious blessings, so that we all will be able to learn the knowledge nicely. Yeah. Om Ajnanatamirantasya
Magyanatimирandasya
ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन
उन्मिलितं येन
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः।
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे
नमः
नमः।
ॐ विष्णुपादाय
ॐ विष्णुपादाय
कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले
कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले
श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता
ते
स्वामिन्
भक्तिवेदान्त
इति नामिने
स्वामिनिति
नमस्ते
नामिने।
सारस्वते देवी
नमस्ते सारस्वते
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
गौरवाणी प्रशान्ति
निर्विशेषाशून्यवादी
ईशान्यवादी
पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे
आशाददेशतारिणे
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा
कृपदरुभ्यश्च
सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनकारिणम्। Hare Krishna. So hope my voice is clear and audible, and you are not feeling any inconvenience with that. Let me just share my screen. Today we are going to discuss about the Shloka 2.14 from Bhagavad Gita. So we'll just recite it once together, or after me, and then you all being on the muted also, you all can recite it. Yes. So we will be actually learning about, from this shloka, we will be able to learn the art of dealing with happiness and distress. These two are it will be able to, no problem, Rudy, you all can recite, recite on the mute. So, yes. Yeah. So we'll be able to learn the art of dealing with happiness and distress. So what Krishna is telling, like first we will recite the shloka, and then we will see the context on which where Krishna is speaking this, and then we will see the meaning of the shloka, and then we can see the application view, how we will be able to apply, and we'll see the how even 5,000 years ago Krishna told, but still in 2024 it is relevant for all of us. Yeah, so let's recite the shloka. I will recite and then you all can recite on being the mute. Matra sparshastu kaunteya.
Matra
Matra sparshastu
Sparshasthu
kaunteya.
Kaunteya
Sitoshna sukha dukkada.
Shitoshna Sukha Dukkada
Sitoshna sukha dukkada. Agama payino nityas.
Agama
Agama
Payino
payino
Nityas
nityas. Tam stitikshasva bharata.
Am Statiksha
Tam stitikshasva
Bharata.
bharata. Yeah. So, like, and the context of this shloka is previous to this, might be like yesterday, you might have heard very sincerely from the shloka, the wonderful shloka, that Krishna is telling that to Arjuna, soul is ever alive. That means you are not this body, you are soul, and it is always alive. Like the one of the nature of the soul is it is eternal. So Krishna is telling that, and Krishna is telling that the body is never alive because this is made up of matter like Panchamahabhuta, and then at the time of death, this just vanishes, but the soul never perishes. Krishna is telling like that. But Arjuna, because with whom he is fighting with his kinsmen, like his Pitamaha, his brothers, everyone. Because in the first lecture we were hearing, like Yudhishthira always used to say that we are all one, not five brothers, not five brothers. That much love they have, that much love and respect they have towards even to the Kauravas. Now, when it comes to the battlefield, so he is going to fight with all of them, and he's asking Krishna that Krishna, actually what you are telling is correct, that like yes, soul is eternally alive, ever alive, and body is never alive. But the the perceptions, how I am able to get the enjoyment or how I'm able to treat the other person is through this body only. If that, because I'm not able to see the soul, I'm able to see the body. So through that body only I'm interacting with them. Then how will I be able to kill them? It is giving me so much distress because like when the senses comes and touches with the sense objects, either it gives the happiness or distress. For example, this is my hand. So if I just hold a hot iron rod, something, it just gives me heat. That means this sense touches the sense object, and either it gives the happiness or distress. Similarly, with the same hand, if I touch the cold ice cube, then it gives me the heat, cold. That means whenever the senses touch come in contact with the sense objects, it gives either happiness or distress. So Krishna is telling the way how to the art of dealing with this happiness and distress, because every one of us go through this happiness and distress every time, every moment, every day. So Krishna is telling that matra sparshastu kauntaya. So this is the context where Arjuna is feeling that through these senses only, through this body only, I am interacting with them. So how will I be? I am getting the happiness also with that only. I am getting the distress also now with that same body only. So how will I be able to deal with that? How will I be able to understand that Krishna, the soul is ever alive and body is never alive? Like that Krishna is thinking. So to remove that perception in Arjuna's mind, Krishna is telling this loka. So let us see the meaning. Yeah. So the meaning is matra sparshastu kaunteya. Matra sparshastu means the experience of sense objects. So as I was telling that whenever the senses comes in touch with the sense objects, the experience comes. What does the experience? Either distress or happiness. So O kaunteya, O son of Kunti, Sita Ushna Sukha Dukkada. That causes Sita Ushna, cold and heat, like that happiness and distress. Agama paino anitya. That means they appear and disappear. Like for example, you see, I'll just give an example. We will have a two kinds of dualities. Like this material nature is created under the modes of like three modes. So there we will have always the dualities. So what are the dualities? We will have external dualities and internal dualities. For example, here in this sloka, Krishna was telling about Sita Ushna, Sukha Dukkha. So if you see Sita and Ushna, it are like from dualities which will cause from the externally. For example, as I was telling, if we touch this hand to the hot something, it like in hot water, if we keep it the hand, it will become heat. If I keep the same hand in the cold water, it becomes cold. And similarly, you can see if I keep in the hot water in the winter season, it gives me happiness. But the same hot water, if I put it in the summer season, it gives me distress. And similarly, if I put the same hand in the cold water in the winter season, it gives me distress. But in the cold water, same way, if I put it in summer season, actually we want that. Ah, okay, little normal water, I need the bath, like that, right? So the externally, how we will be like we are having the same senses and the same sense objects, but it gives the different experience at different places and different times. So what we will do, and you all know that what we will do, we will do some arrangements. Like for example, now the winter season is about to come. So what we will do, we all will be ready with the sweaters. So that like we will be able to be comfortable with the season. And we will arrange like that. And in the summer season, we will arrange with a like cooler or AC or something, fan or something like that. So we will make arrangements. Similarly, those are all external dualities. Similarly, we will have internal dualities as well. That means happiness and distress. So here Arjuna is going through this internal dualities. Like because till the time he was getting the happiness from the same brothers, and he was getting now the distress also from the same brothers. So we all will also be like that. The same person might give sometimes happiness, might give something distress. Like for example, our near and dear person passed away. It gives distress, right, to our heart. And the same person, when they are alive and happy with us, it gives happiness. So both comes happiness and distress. Krishna is telling that they appear and disappear. So it's not like that they are permanent. For example, you see, in the rainy season, the rain comes with the storms, with the like flooded. But will if one is bewildered by that, how will it be? He be able to alive? He be able to survive? Because the storm which has come is temporary. It will come and it will just go. But if you are stuck up by that and if you are feeling that no, the storm has come, so I don't know how it will be like that. If we are bewildered, then we will not be able to do our duties. So Krishna is telling that they are temporary and they appear and disappear. So what we can do? So Arjuna is thinking. Actually, here the slokas are not there that Arjuna is asking Krishna that what we should do, Arjuna, what we should do, Krishna, like that. But it is there. Like Krishna could understand the questions in the mind of Arjuna. So what you have to do then? It appears and disappears, and they are temporary. Then why to worry? So just learn to tolerate them. He's telling Tam Titikshasva Bharata. Just to learn, oh descendant of Bharata dynasty. He is telling, like some in this same shloka, Krishna is used two names to Arjuna. First is Kaunteya and then Bharata. Because like Kaunteya means, oh son of Kunti. And he is telling, like he is reminding Arjuna that whose son you are, the Kunti. You know who is Kunti? Like, he's reminding Arjuna that who from whom you have taken the birth. So glorious Kunti Maharani, she is your mother, and you are here in the distress that you don't want to fight. You are a Kshatriya, and he is telling Bharata, O descendant of Bharata dynasty, you are the like emperor in the Bharata dynasty. How glorious your dynasty is, and now you are as a coward, doesn't want to do the fight only, and you want to leave the duty. Why is it that you cannot leave? So whenever we get this experience from the sense objects, should we leave it? Should we leave that, the duty? Like, for example, if we are getting a cold in the winter season, but it doesn't mean that we should leave taking bath. We will make arrangement to get some hot water or some warm water, and or we just tolerate and take cold water bath, right? So similarly, we should never, irrespective of like whether it is cold or heat or happiness and distress, Krishna is instructing or telling Arjuna that you are from very glorious dynasty, and you are a kshatriya. You have the right. Already you are having, you might be thinking that they are your brothers, but they are on the side of adharma. So you should tolerate being separated from them. You should be on the side of dharma. Always you should be on the side of dharma, because we should not attach it to the sense perceptions. Sometimes we might feel like, okay, oh, it is so good, it is giving me so much happiness. For example, if we just open, like sometimes I see like some people just open the Instagram and just scrolling the reel. It gives happiness. Even we don't know also that time is passing and we have so many works to do, the to-do list, but still it is going on because it is giving happiness to the senses. Externally, it is giving happiness to the eyes or somewhere in the mind, like that. But we should not get attached to that. We should understand what is my duty, and we should never leave that duty, irrespective of happiness or distress. So that is the actually this is the profound teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita doesn't only teach how to attain success in life, but Bhagavad Gita teaches how to deal with the distress also. We might have this question that okay, distress means it gives us pain, so we have to learn how to deal with it. But happiness, should we not happy like when we get success? Should we not happy? We should be happy. But that is also like some people in my childhood, I heard that like some people like from my mother that some people might die also out of laughing, out of happiness also some people die. So that also has to be dealt and balanced. Otherwise, that also gives the death for the person. So we have to tolerate both the things. How? Why? Like for example, I'll just give a practical example. Like for a student is there, so if he gets a first rank in the class, should he not be happy? He should be happy, but it should not make him proud that I only got first rank in my entire class. So there, to not to get pride, he has to tolerate with the happiness, right? And if one person might like get the like less marks and he's feeling depressed or no, he's feeling like I have to commit suicide because I am not getting rank only, I'm not getting marks. Everyone will scold me or everyone like, will make me like insulted or something. That also has to be dealt. So both the things are taught by the Bhagavad Gita. Even that is relevant now also. That is what actually Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Uh, Tolerate them, learn to tolerate them. Tan stitikshasva bharata. So if you tolerate them, then you will be able to be happy. Yes, so happiness and distress are temporary, and we should not become overwhelmed by those both, happiness and distress. So, as I was telling, Sita and Ushna are external dualities, and Sukha and Dukkha are internal. External, so like we may be able to make arrangements, like making like as like in the cold season we will wear sweaters, or like in the summer season we will wear some like we will get some coolers or AC or fans like that. Similarly, we have to make arrangements for these internal dualities as well, the for Sukha and Dukkha, happiness and distress. So, like we should rejoice the moment when we get the happiness, but we should never become proud. Similarly, we should never become despondent or discouraged or like broken when we get the distress. But what to do? So, whenever inconvenience comes in our life, we will have two options. Inconvenience, especially like inconvenience with either happiness or distress. So we'll have two options always. What are those two options? Either tolerate or terminate. Here Krishna is telling stams vikshasva. So it is a choice. We can terminate. Like for example, student, if he is not getting good marks, then he may terminate. I don't want to do. But if he tolerates that emotion which he is going through now, and if he do his duty, then like we have to accept the pain in doing the activity. Like he might be painful, like he has to put a little more effort in studying. For example, if one is preparing for UPSC, I can give like this wonderful example, because you in UPSC in the first attempt no one will get. So should they leave it? No, they should not terminate it. What we have to do, we have to tolerate that pain, and we have to like pain of that activity, but still we should continue it. So inconvenience may come on the levels of body or mind or ego. All the three levels we have to work on it, and we have to make arrangements. So that's why Arjuna is asking Krishna that I am dealing with their bodies, then how will I be able to? Then Krishna is telling that it might be that like they are your bodily relations, but they are on the adharma side. So tolerate that separation, pain of separation from them. But you should never stop your duty, because you are Kshatriya. You have to punish the people who are on the adharma side. How will you be able to like stop them? Then uh, like how many people in the future are going to get the distress which you have gone through, and the dharma, the reactions of adharma. So you should not get stopped by those emotions. You should stop them. You should stop the emotions. You should not be stopped by those because of those emotions. So you should do your duty. You are kshatriya. So he's reminding how beautiful it is, if we have that kind of coach in our life like Krishna, where we are having these inconveniences and they are supporting us. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, so we should have someone who will be able to remind us who we are. Otherwise, like this happiness and distress makes us bewildered. Yes. So, and happiness. So I was telling about like distress, how we have to bear the pain of doing the activity when it comes when the inconvenience comes from the body and mind and ego level. But when it comes happiness, Like for example, if I say that tolerate, then it might be like to Arjuna also, right? Like Arjuna was going through so much distress, like they were being attacked by Kauravas so many times, or cheated them by them so many times, and Draupadi Maya was like abused in the assembly. Maybe if Krishna is telling to tolerate the distress, then Arjuna also can tolerate the distress, right? So you might ask me that question, like, okay, if you're saying me to tolerate, then why can't Arjuna also tolerate those all distresses and learn, like, be like calm and composed like that? No, actually, in the name of tolerance, we should never bear the offense towards our family members, offense towards our the dharma people on the dharma side. We should never become on the name of tolerance, because that is not the what Krishna is teaching here. It's a very deep thing. Krishna is teaching here this that pain of separation from punishing the adharma side, Kauravas. So that we have to understand the context. So it's not that like Krishna is telling to Arjuna that you tolerate, na, like your wife is being abused and your brothers are being cheated, but you tolerate. No, he's not telling that. Don't misunderstand it. Krishna is not telling that. So we should never take the offense. We should never consider like bear the offense towards our family members or offense towards the people who are on the dharma side. Then how we will be able to do it in our practical life? Like how to have this distress and happiness, how to deal with them. We have to cultivate the determination. If we don't have the determination and discipline, then we will not be able to have like consistent tolerance. And how we will get this determination to tolerate, like to cultivate this tolerance in our life? We should have the association of that determined people who are having the qualities of like this tolerance. And we should do, like when we understand that this is temporary, like we have to always meditate on the temporary nature, and at the same time we have to meditate on the spiritual eternal nature, because here the temporary nature, whatever we have, it is going to end at one point of time, either our relationships or either this material nature or either our happiness or distress. So we have to meditate on it that it is temporary, it is not eternal. For example, what we can give some example. Like today, as I was telling, like today some storm has come, but tomorrow it might not be there. So it's not that one day you are having like some issue with someone, but the next day it might not be the same way it will be. So you have to meditate on that. The matter doesn't matter. So it is like very temporary. You have to meditate on this nature is temporary, but at the same time we have to meditate on the spiritual eternal nature. That means the spirit soul is eternal, and the spirit soul, as like yesterday in the yesterday's shloka that we learned that it goes from one body to another body. So this is just a journey. So this is like a journey from one body to another body of the soul. So when we meditate on that spiritual eternal nature, then we will be able to have this determination, and we will not get bewildered whenever the happiness and distress comes. We will take the shelter of that eternal nature, which will make us which will help us to tolerate. Yes. So, and when we cultivate, like when we cultivate this, we have to practice and cultivate this tolerance, which gives us determination and courage and the strength to not to overpowered by these external or internal dualities, with proper understanding, like with a breadth and with proper understanding of this Bhagavad Gita philosophy, with a deeper understanding. If we don't understand it very with a very deep, then we will not be able to feel this connected, because this is not just like Sanskrit words. These are like life lessons which Krishna is teaching us, so that we will be able to attain success and at the same time deal with the failures. So, what are the results? What are the results if we practice and if we cultivate this tolerance? Our life becomes balanced. It will not become complicated, whether it is happiness or whether it is distress. We will be calm and composed, and we will be always joyful. We will be always feel peaceful in our heart. Because happiness is also temporary and distress is also temporary. It is coming as like winter and summer season. Comes and goes, comes and goes. So then why to worry about it, or why to get bewildered by this? Why to become proud of happiness or success? Why to become distressed or discouraged by the failure? Our life becomes balanced. It doesn't become complicated. It doesn't run towards like things which are making our life so complicated. Yes. And one more thing, the tolerance, like the some thought which I was telling that in the name of tolerance, we should never bear the offenses towards our family members or the people on the side of dharma, because tolerance is not like that. Tolerance is it is for one's individual, how we have to go through, how we have to learn in our life. Yes. So yeah, I think yeah, this much. And these are the thoughts which I wanted to share. And yeah, if we have any questions or anything, you can ask or you can share what are the points you feel like you learned something. You can share it in the group, WhatsApp group. Hope you learned something today. Um, 100% Prabhuji, shall I stop the recording now?